Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Chrissy Sawyer here. I'm laughing and smiling because I'm going to try something technically difficult during this video. Right. So this is going to follow on from the Father Gate 2, which day is it? So it's Wednesday the 25th today. So Father Gate 2 will be coming out this afternoon, 1:30 London. And as I was watching it back, I saw myself stumble on the image that I was sent. So scratch the old grey whistle test. I believe they used it right at the start and then they came up with a new image. The image that I was reaching for, I'm going to attempt to show you now. Okay. So this is the image, and this is the Michelangelo image from the Sistine Chapel. And it's called The Creation of Adam, or The Creation of Man. And this is the image that I saw in the second video. And the image came back to me this morning and was guiding me to draw the Vesica Pisces, Vesica Pisces, however you want to say it, at this meeting point here. And this meeting point here is speaking straight into the Libra solar eclipse on the 2nd of October. And the message I got was reworking the space in between. Okay, so you'll hear me talk about holding space, and it just would be such a wonderful world if we held space for one another. And we're coming into that because we're adulting in relationships. So Libra is the house of relationship, that 7th house, the 7 where we fuse light into matter. This is the fusion here. And so in this diagram, I kind of mentally put a number 1 in here and a number 2 in here. And these are the notes of number 1 and 2. So we're talking about relationship. Now, this could be relationship with another human being, could be relationship with food, relationship with nature, relationship with a system or a belief, but it's a relationship. So you will occupy either position 1 or position 2. They are exactly the same. In position 1 and 2, you occupy your space. You do you, and the other does the other. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. It's okay for me to be all of me in this space. So all, the light and the shadow, the good, the bad, the ugly. And then we come into the 3rd space in the middle. And this is the empty space. We could refer to this as the 3rd space. Okay, so this is where we hold space for one another. This is where we sow seeds. We meet the fusion and the harmony. So all those 6s and 10s, that's the light, seeking the harmony in a neutral space. So this is a neutral space. If conflict arrives in this space, look for expectations or judgment that have been projected into that space. So when expectations or judgments come into this shared space, you've taken your luggage in. In the 3rd space, there is no baggage allowance, okay? So if you feel your feelings, do it here, do it here. In the 3rd space is where that point wants to meet. That's where the universe wants to come in and create something different. So this could, if we strip this back to a simple relationship, that's why relationships were coming through so strongly. I didn't make the connection yesterday. And it may be that new relationships will come in. And so in the move to adult into new relationships, in this space, nobody is responsible but the self for one's own feelings and experiences and beliefs and judgments and all of that human stuff. In this space, there is what if, there is what is this? Okay. Does that make sense? So I'm going to stop sharing and hope that I appear back on screen. So the eclipse is happening at 10 degrees. Now, how many 10s did we have in the second father gate? I'm tripping over that word. Furthest gate is what I really want to say. So we have the sun and moon in Libra at 10 degrees. We also have Mercury at 11 degrees. And we also have Lilith at 10 degrees. So, and it's happening on the tail of the snake. So it's happening on the south node. Okay. So we're looking at wrapping up and completion. We're looking at letting go and dissolving. And what is complete? What have you learned with regard to relationships and how you relate to other? Okay. Do you hold that third space where it isn't you and it isn't them? It's space. It's just holding that space. Okay. We also have the vertex at 0. So vertex is like a crossing point. Okay. And that's at 0 of Libra. So I'm going to put my notes away. And I'm going to go to the first deacon. Right. So astrology arranges archetypes in 3 decans per sign, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. And each decan has a different expression in that sign. So I want to read the first decan of Libra to help build the container. Oh, interesting. And there are dates to match the decans. So the first decan of Libra is September the 23rd. So we're in it. It's 25th today. To October the 3rd. This is 0 to 10 degrees. Ruled by Venus. The first Venus decan of Libra produces the most peace-loving aestheticians. Okay. So the aesthetic world for that first decan is very Venusian. It loves the beauty and the elegance, maybe the splendor, okay? Which might make it sensitive, which might make it easy to upset or wobble. So aestheticians, I've never seen that word before. Okay, the most peace-loving aestheticians in the whole zodiac. These people need to come into contact with the finer things in life, and they are highly aware of every imaginable sort of relationship to their fellow men and women. That said, in spite of their strong you orientation, they can and will at times become very unbalanced and quarrelsome. It is a great dilemma in the lives of the first decan Libras, how much to rely on other people, and on the other hand, how much to go on their own. Okay. So this can bring in all sorts of delicious insecurities about if someone else has a strong opinion that might sway you. If someone else judges you, disapproves of you, that might sway you. If someone wants something from you, do you give to other before you give to self? Getting emotional needs met, getting philosophical needs met, spiritual needs met, physical needs met. So there's a real kind of coming home to self to occupy that space, to occupy one side of the Vesica and to not drag the baggage. into the third space where something new wants to be birthed. Okay. Today, I want to go back to the stripped back version of the musical alchemy of astrology deck. Because I want to get into that third space without the beautiful artwork. And that third space is blind. Okay. Oh, there's one waiting to come out already. Moon. Okay. Pisces and lunar eclipse. Right. And essence. Okay. I need a drink for this. Oh, wow. I love these cards. It's like, this might not make sense. It's like they're right in the room with me. But they are in the room with you. I know. But they're in the room with me. So we have the moon coming in with Pisces. So that's the lunar eclipse, and we're in the sandwich. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I'm just being reminded the solar eclipse on the 2nd is the new moon solar eclipse happening on the south node. So look at that beautiful opposition there. South node is what is ready to pass, what is ready to drop out, be reintegrated, dissolved, and put on its path to the north node. But it's a new moon, so it's about births. So we have, wow. So we have the birth, we have the whole serpent. We have the whole serpent there, south node, birthing a new moon. New moon birthing a south node. Okay. So Pisces, bringing in that interdimensional oneness and that distance I saw yesterday, being filled now by Michelangelo coming into the third space, the creation of Adam. Yeah. So one of the cards that came out yesterday was the many masks. It's been out a few times recently. So as we keep peeling these masks off, we get closer and closer to our essence. And as we attune with our essence, which may be so ineffable that we can't really put it into words, we take that essence into the third space. It's the absolute purest expression that doesn't get in the way, that doesn't want or need or demand, that doesn't feel neglected or abandoned. There's just the essence, it's just the essence, the inner core nature, your musical autograph. So your song, your soul song goes into the third space. Wants and needs, keeping the 1 and 2. You do your own personal work. So a healthy relationship for me is basically a triangle. It's a blueprint. So you've got the 1 and the 2 of, you've got person 1 and person 2, and they're doing their own work and they own their life. And then where we triangulate, so I often say this is the what if. So where we get stuck in conflict is because we're going back and forth. But triangulate up to the what if to create a blueprint. And what that does is that will draw it, because you can put the Vesica Pisces in between, in the middle of a triangle, draw a triangle. Wow, pouring in. Okay, it's pouring in. Don't get lost in the alchemy. Okay. And so into that third space, the what if, can be a presencing of self. but with the needs and the wants held in the autonomy, the essence goes into the third space. I'm sorry if I over-explained that there. That was a bit fast. So essence coming in on the house one of self, which is the Aries North Node, isn't it? Health, house one of self. And the I am values, I am false and I am authentic. And it depends how many masks I've taken off. Each mask takes courage. So let there be no rush. Make it a labor of love in this lifetime. Okay. So we have lunar eclipse. Mm. I'm just tapping into my crown chakra, which is doing all sorts of things at the moment. I think it's making a sound, but the sound is a vibration, so I can't truly hear it. So I am umbral, mystical, blanketed in shadows. So again, what's behind the mask? It's interesting that we've got lunar energy coming out for a solar eclipse. Eclipses repeat in Saros cycles every 18 years. Thank you, that's the reminder. So this solar eclipse, I believe, last happened in 2005 and 1986. So what happened in your house of relationships, and check your natal chart, see which house Libra is. It will affect that. And in the collective, it's going to speak straight into the collective house of relationship. Triple point polarity. Look at these triple point, Earth, Sun, Moon. I am unveiled, profound, a son of Lilith in Libra. Okay. Visions from the veiled realms, and that's what wants to come in. What is hidden wants to come in. So getting into a space of receptivity without expectation is an art. It needs a little bit of practice because the mind wants to come in and get busy trying to figure it out, but the mind is always on a satellite delay. It's just not quick enough. It's just not quick enough. Okay. Are we ready to speak to Libra? Are we ready to bring in the sun? Have we learned enough from the Pisces lunar eclipse? Hmm. Mother of Alchemy, the songwriter. So we're speaking to the void that wants to come into that space. Creatrix of the Philosopher's Stone, all-encompassing cosmic womb. True alchemical completeness, balanced frequency. Mm. That's definitely speaking to that space in the middle where we start experiencing a kind of perfection that isn't perfection. Because that space wants to reveal, it doesn't want anything. So in my language, this is the systemic space where that hasn't yet been imprinted, and it only tends to reveal the unknown. It only tends to reveal what we don't yet know. So I am empty, I am full. Okay, great. So in the 1 and 2, we can be full of our own life story and experiences and responses and reactions and programming and all of that stuff. I am empty is when we stand together and allow this space to swirl. Okay, it's very neutral. All life sings with me, and through me I am. That's spirit coming straight in. All life sings through me, and to me I am. So we could call it the witnessing space, where we witness. Okay. So I'm guided to go to a deck I haven't used for ages. This beautiful deck. Let's bring this into story form. See what shapes want to come through and see what learning there is. I'm just noticing all the energy's just drained out of my left shoulder. So to the left, this card just fell. The Thief, seizing the moment, selfishness. This has got kind of 7 of Cups energy and maybe a resistance to ditch 6 of the Cups, maybe a resistance to ditch 7 of the Cups. But they all look good and there's stuff in all of them. Okay. So take them all then. But how do I make that decision? Get into the 3rd space and listen. And then take action on what you sense. Okay, so big movement is a deeper commitment to intuition and gut response. Taking action on what the heart wants, bringing the soul into alignment, or bring the life into alignment with the soul. Tell me more about the Thief. What's the underlying card? The Witch. Okay, the Witch. Experimentation and rebellion. No, I want all the cups. Because I've forgotten I'm still working on my abandonment, lack, poverty wound. What was that? Yeah, there's a call for personal responsibility here. So the witch experiments. Keep going with the story as my guidance. So remembering that the witch is the underlying and it's guiding experimentation. Rebellion. So what that witch is doing is it's taking me into the middle space. It's taking me into the void space. Okay, carry on. I had words there and they just went. So. Talk to me more about the witch and the thief. And I'm just noticing I haven't seen a sign of the solar eclipse yet. This is all about relationship. Okay, so we have two more cards, and I'm going to read this one inverted. We have the Muse and the Priest. Look at the cups. The Muse, generosity and naivety. Yeah. What happens if they go hand in hand? Naivety is that place of innocence. It might also be the place where we don't see that. We don't see the thief. Okay, so I'm just noticing in myself, there's a little bit of resistance because my thinking mind wants to understand where this is going and how it connects to the solar eclipse. My muse, my playful self, is just like, go with it. Just go with it. Oh, that's Mercury. That's Mercury. The story I get with the priest, yeah, perseverance, but it just feels so dogmatic. It feels like too much order, like the priest might want it a certain way. The priest might get lost in what is right, what is wrong, what is holy, what is unholy. So the priest might drop us into polarity. Okay. So it's just kind of acknowledge, right? So I acknowledge I'm in polarity because I think this is bad or I think this is good or whatever. So I'm going to go back into the third space with nothing. Baggage, no baggage. I'm just pondering where to go next. I think I'm guided towards a question. I don't know what the question is. Maybe I've already answered the question without asking it. I think I have. I think I have. But the question is about the essence. The question is about how do I elevate my relationship with relationships? Is to take the essence into the crossing point, into the third space. And that might be something new to birth on this Libra, new moon, solar eclipse, is to stand in the presence of another with no expectation, with your needs and wants owned in the house of self and not projected. And so in there is again another level of the dissolution of codependency. And you are not responsible for my happiness and I have nothing to prove to you. You know, when people get into that space and some really healthy, strong conversations, can start happening. And again, it's the dignified, this is where we dignify the self, is where we have the courage to speak with strength. I think that's it. I do it. I do. I think that's it. Okay, so I've just reached into the deck and pulled out a card. There's that 37. It's that shards of sunlight. Beautiful. Sunsteed, solstice, rarefied. The place, the space where the sun shines, the spot, but what if it stopped? Sister sun, brother moon, and Modor Eord dance together. And at rarefied moments, they hold hands and all become one. Okay. And at rarefied moments, they hold hands and become one. So for me, this is fusing into the oneness. This is fusing into the soup. Unity consciousness. And what I'm reminded of is compromise. Okay. There's a program running that's inserted into the House of Relationships to do with compromise. And a healthy relationship is about compromise. Can I respectfully disagree with that? Or can I challenge that? And here's my challenge. Compromise might be where we sell out to fit in. Compromise might be a tool that we use to avoid fully meeting our own needs with nothing to prove. Okay, listen, not every thought you have or action you take will please everybody all of the time. It's absolutely impossible. In a healthy life, it's possible, but not if you want to live a healthy, well-balanced life in your own dignity. So what if we drop compromise? And in the rarefied moment where we hold hands with one another, where we meet each other in that space, we can also meet our difference. It's coming down the fractal now. So this is coming into very human scape, 1 and 2, you and me, and the shared space where we meet our difference. The first Vesica that came in was the high level, pure cosmic womb, void, feminine spirit, whatever you want to call it. The field of all potential coming in. Right, so we're coming down now. Okay. And so in the world of humans, coming down the fractal, that third space can be where we meet one another without judgment and meet one another's difference. We don't even have to accept it. We just have to respect that the other person is teaching you about their difference to you. And you equally can, from a neutral place, teach them about your difference to them. Okay. The compromise isn't where we edit our behavior to please somebody else, to keep the peace. If we're keeping the peace, how can we birth the sun? Okay, dance together and at rarefied moments hold hands and all become one. Light is eclipsed. There it is. And that's all it's going to say to the solar eclipse. Light is eclipsed. Shadows fall and crawl around. Seasons are set with solstices so we might mark our lives. That's when we gather to hold hands and sing together, enwrapped by the magic of life's mystic cycles. Beautiful. And I'm going to wrap this up with I think I'm going to go for whatever that is. Resurrection, something? Resurrection of, I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm useless. Okay. Thank you. I only wanted one. Oh, wow. Growing old gracefully. Finding your gold and having the confidence to wear it as an energetic signature of confidence, courage, strength, wisdom, knowledge, knowing. But I have such horrible memories of my school days that could never really meet my confidence. My school days that were threatened by my confidence. My school days that beat me down and bullied me and squashed me. There's a beautiful challenge. 12 and 3. Yeah. So 12-3 is dignity and authority. That's owning your own blueprint. This 3 might be an old blueprint, some residue. Remember, South Node, Libra, the house of relationships, could well point to, are you still at school now? Okay. Is it time for you to be your beautiful, bold, brave, knowing, wise self? And there's the leap. There's the leap. The face you put on, know the mask you take off. Okay, there's a lovely challenge. Can you see that? There's a lovely challenge in there. I am authentic, I am pretense. Okay, some nice choices here. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for being here, and I will be back when I'm back. Take care, have a wonderful eclipse, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.